Hello friends, how are you? Alessandra here, and we are checking on our worms. It's pretty much at that 2 week marker, and we did something we haven't done in a long time, and that was pretty much just free feeding, dumping a bunch of food in, and letting the worms be. And I thought, they might not need more food, but they might. But I was a little worried about the moisture levels in the bin since a lot of the food we had put in there had been sitting on the counter, kind of in an open air container, and kind of drying out. Plus, we had been adding the coconut coir, the shredded paper, and whatnot, and I was like, it's just making me nervous. And I'm glad I checked because it is a little dry in here. And part of the reason I want to check on it today is because we have a little front coming through, and it might be in the 60s here today, but then chance of snow is imminent earlier or later this week, I suppose. So I kind of want to just check on the worms, make sure they have enough food in here. Looks like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but we can see a few big chunky worms here, and I don't want to disrupt them too much because there's clearly some banana peels there they're working on. But I just kind of want to get a sense of like how much of the food that we put in have they made it to? Like where are we at with processing? Because I know they're not, I wasn't expecting it to be done and empty. But on the other hand, I was kind of curious to see like how far did they even get? So like we just pulled that banana peel back. I don't even see anybody here. I don't see anybody here. All right, so like I see maybe one or two little red wigglers, maybe in this pile. Okay, there might be two more down there. So maybe they're down below, but clearly there's plenty of food in here. Let's look over here. Okay, I see a worm over here, so I don't want to disrupt too much. Oh yeah, we definitely got some worms over there. All right. And part of the reason we've been adding the bedding is to help see how far down we are. I know it's not processed with the coconut coir and the paper and everything, but I want to make sure we keep working on the thermal mass of the bin so we keep our temperatures up as the temperatures outside get down. And we are in the basement, so it's somewhat controlled, but it still gets pretty chilly down here. I'm seeing a little bit of activity over here. We're seeing a little bit, not a ton, but a little bit. So here's my conundrum. We definitely need to add some water. So I have about this much water. I don't think we'll add all of it, but maybe we will. And I don't want to put it in any one spot because we obviously don't want to drown them. Ask me how I know. So we're just gonna, yeah, I think we could fit it all in here. Worst case scenario, it drips down to the bottom, but I'm not really worried about it. I still have that glass jar, bowl, whatever we put in when we started this, and nothing has come out. There's no drops, no overflow worms that I've been able to see. Like, it's been great. So now here's the thing. I know they like the moldy food. I know that they're not really eating the food like we eat the food. They're eating the bacteria and the mold and the buildup on the food as it breaks down. And as it turns out, I have stuff that they haven't really had in a long time, and actually this batch might not have even ever had, plus a bunch of other stuff. And there's bananas for sure. We have a lot of banana peels, but we have some molding potato, or like the sweet potato peelings from Thanksgiving that I thought, you know what? They're already molding. This is going to be technically, I know, too much food for them, but I love that it was already molding, and with obviously some paper towels and whatnot in there. I know it looks like a lot, and it is. There's a lot of food in here, but we're also going to add our oyster shell flour because we haven't been adding that the last few feedings. So we're going to add that in for our grit. I think it has potassium or something else in there that they like. Give it a nice coating. I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh my gosh, that's so much food in there. There's not a ton of worms actively in here. No, you're right. But I want to put this big block of food in here. Like, look how much it's already breaking down, right? So we got some fresh bananas, a couple tissues. We got the moldy stuff over there. And what this is going to do is make another layer on top of the other stuff. So as they come up to feed and they work through that other layer, they're going to get into this. Or at least that's my hope. Oops. I'm going to pull this whole section up carefully. Carefully. Okay, there we go. So we're going to get it kind of buried. But look how quickly, like, look, I don't know if you could tell the depth, but I mean, this has already gone down quite a bit over here. I know it's crazy, but I still have more shredded paper from our move that we use as packing. So we're going to put that in there. Just kind of give it a little bit more buffer. We're really not having problems with any kind of flies or bugs or anything. So I'm going to put that in there. And we're going to get some more water on here. I know what you're thinking, more water, but yes, because we just put a ton of dry paper in here. And like I said before, that food has kind of dehydrated sitting on the counter in a bin that was kind of open and exposed. And it's pretty dry here in Colorado, so things dry out quick. All right, this should get us started, I hope. All right, now that's a feeding last, or 2 weeks ago. We're giving them an even bigger feeding today. So we are going to wait a while. Like, I kind of want to wait a month and see if I can wait that long and let them process and get through all of this, because that's a lot of food. It's cold out, but I think we can do it. I think we can wait a month. Can you guys wait a month for an update? I hope so, because I really want to try it and just let them be, because I think a lot of people see these worms in the videos that we upload often and go, oh, they're feeding the worms again. They have to feed the worms again. And it's not like a cat or a dog that's a couple of times a day sometimes. But if you're busy, every week or every 2 weeks can fall through the cracks and also be cumbersome for some. So I kind of want to see what happens. Is there a balance between the free feeding, putting a lot of food in there, letting them sit, but then also like moisture management, pest control management, all of that. So I kind of want to push the limits here, because I think we've been pretty safe with our feeding so far. Knock on wood, haven't had any issues. So here's hoping we can start 2025 in like, a super healthy bin, eating lots, processing lots, and hopefully getting our population up, because that's really what stage we're in now. We don't have a rocking and rolling bin like we did before in Florida, but we're going to get there. Slowly but surely, we're going to get there. All right, friends. Well, then, that being said, thanks for hanging out with me today, and happy holidays, happy New Year's. Hope you're doing well. We'll see you in 2025. Bye, friends.